Most people overlook ordinary pennies, tossing them into jars or forgetting about them entirely. But hidden among the worn and circulated coins are wheat pennies so rare and valuable that collectors would pay thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands, for the right one. These are not just coins, they are pieces of history, mistakes of the mint, and symbols of a bygone era. In this video, we reveal the most valuable wheat pennies ever made, the secrets that make them priceless, and why one small detail can turn an ordinary penny into a life-changing discovery. So let's get started. First up. Next up, the 1955 D. Lincoln wheat penny occupies a unique place in American coin history, not because it is the most famous wheat penny, but because it lives in the shadow of one of the most legendary coins ever created. While most people instantly think of the dramatic 1955 double die cent from Philadelphia, the 1955 D penny from the Denver Mint tells a quieter, more grounded story, one rooted in everyday commerce, post-war confidence, and the final years of a classic American design. This contrast has given the 1955 D wheat penny a distinct identity among collectors. By 1955, the United States was firmly in a period of economic expansion. Suburban neighborhoods were growing, highways were stretching across the country, and consumer culture was accelerating. Coins were essential to daily life, and the demand for 1-cent pieces remained strong. The Denver Mint responded by striking millions of wheat pennies, each marked with a small D beneath the date, signaling their Western origin and their role in supporting a fast-moving economy. The Lincoln wheat penny design had already proven its longevity by this time. Introduced in 1909, it had become one of the most recognizable coins in the nation. The obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner, conveyed stability and leadership, qualities Americans valued during the Cold War era. On well-preserved 1955 D examples, Lincoln's hair details, facial contours, and coat lines appear crisp, reflecting the quality of mid-1950s minting. The reverse of the coin features the familiar wheat ears, framing the denomination and country name. This design symbolized agricultural strength and national prosperity, ideas that resonated strongly in the 1950s. However, the wheat reverse was nearing the end of its run. Just 3 years later, it would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, making the 1955 D wheat penny part of the closing chapter of a nearly 50-year series. In terms of mintage, the 1955 D wheat penny was produced in large numbers, making it common in circulated condition today. Most surviving examples show signs of wear from years of use: flattened high points on Lincoln's face, softened lettering, and worn wheat ears. These circulated coins typically hold modest value and are often found in old collections, jars, and inherited accumulations. What makes the 1955 D wheat penny especially interesting is how it is often misunderstood. Many people assume any 1955 wheat penny must be extremely valuable because of the famous double die variety. In reality, the 1955 D penny is not a double die and does not share that extreme rarity. This confusion has kept interest in the coin high, encouraging collectors to learn the difference between mint marks and varieties, an important lesson in numismatics. Condition plays a decisive role in the value of the 1955 D wheat penny. While worn examples are common, uncirculated coins with full mint luster and clean surfaces are far more desirable. Coins graded in mint state by professional grading services can command strong premiums, especially those with sharp strikes and minimal contact marks. High-grade examples showcase the original beauty of the design in a way circulated coins cannot. Color is another key factor. Copper naturally tones over time, shifting from bright red to red-brown and eventually brown. Fully red 1955 D wheat pennies are highly sought after, as preserving original copper color for decades is challenging. Red-brown and brown examples are more common, but exceptional eye appeal can still make them attractive to collectors. Although the 1955 D wheat penny is not known for major double-die errors, it does appear with a variety of minor minting errors. Off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and lamination flaws occasionally surface. These errors add individuality to the coin and can significantly increase value depending on severity and condition. Era coins provide a glimpse into the minting process and appeal to collectors who appreciate imperfections that tell a story. Historically, the 1955 Wheat penny represents the rhythm of everyday American life in the mid-1950s. It was the coin of small purchases, penny candy, newspapers, and bus fares. It passed through countless hands during a time of optimism and routine, making it a genuine artifact of its era rather than a coin created solely for collectors. For today's collectors, the 1955 Wheat penny serves as both an educational and collectible piece. Beginners learn to distinguish mint marks and understand why not all coins from a famous year are equally valuable. Advanced collectors pursue high-grade examples to complete late-date wheat penny sets. This broad appeal ensures that the coin remains relevant in the hobby. Careful inspection is essential when evaluating a 1955 Wheat penny. Look for original surfaces, natural color, and consistent wear. Avoid coins that have been harshly cleaned or polished, as these treatments permanently damage surfaces and reduce value. Originality and preservation always matter more than artificial shine. The enduring interest in the 1955 Wheat penny proves that a coin does not need extreme rarity to be meaningful. Its importance lies in its historical position, its connection to a legendary year, and its role as one of the final wheat pennies ever produced. It reminds collectors that understanding context is just as important as chasing famous varieties. In the end, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny is more than a footnote beside a famous double die. It is a symbol of a confident nation, a classic design nearing its end, and the everyday transactions that shaped mid-20th century America. Whether found worn and brown or preserved with bright luster, this coin continues to capture attention because it represents history in its most honest form, used, shared, and remembered. Next up, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny, with no mint mark, stands at a remarkable crossroads in American history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin was produced during the first full year after World War II had officially ended. While the world was still recovering from years of conflict, this small copper cent quietly entered circulation, becoming part of daily life at a moment when hope, rebuilding, and transformation defined the nation. Though modest in appearance, the 1946 Wheat penny carries a powerful historical identity rooted in resilience and renewal. In 1946, the United States was adjusting to peacetime conditions. Soldiers were returning home, industries were shifting from wartime production to consumer goods, and families were rebuilding their lives. Coinage was once again produced with fewer material restrictions, and the familiar bronze composition of the Lincoln cent returned after the steel cents of 1943 and the transitional alloy years that followed. The 1946 Wheat penny reflects this return to normalcy, making it especially significant to collectors who value historical context. The absence of a mint mark beneath the date confirms that this coin was struck in Philadelphia, the nation's primary mint. Philadelphia produced large quantities of cents in 1946 to meet renewed economic activity. As a result, millions of these pennies circulated widely, passing through the hands of factory workers, shopkeepers, veterans, and families. Each coin became a silent participant in post-war American life, absorbing the marks of everyday use. The obverse of the coin features Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln. By 1946, Lincoln's image had been on the cent for nearly 4 decades, symbolizing unity, endurance, and national strength. On well-preserved examples, the details of Lincoln's hair, facial structure, and coat lines remain sharp and expressive. These features allow collectors to appreciate the craftsmanship that often fades away on heavily worn coins. The reverse design displays 2 wheat ears framing the denomination and country name, a symbol of agricultural strength and abundance. This imagery was deeply meaningful in the post-war era, as food production and economic stability were central concerns for the nation. The wheat reverse also connects the 1946 penny to the final years of the wheat cent series, which would end in 1958. As such, the coin occupies a transitional place in numismatic history. From a mintage standpoint, the 1946 no mint mark wheat penny was produced in large numbers, making it readily available today in circulated condition. Most examples show signs of wear, including smoothing on Lincoln's cheek and flattening of the wheat ears. These circulated coins typically hold modest value, appreciated mainly for their age and historical significance rather than rarity. However, condition dramatically changes the story of the 1946 wheat penny. Uncirculated examples with full mint luster, clean surfaces, and strong strikes are far more desirable. Coins graded in mint state by professional grading services can command much higher prices, particularly those with minimal contact marks and strong eye appeal. Collectors pay close attention to strike quality, as weak strikes can diminish even otherwise attractive coins. Color is another critical factor in determining value. Over decades, copper naturally tones from bright red to various shades of brown. Coins are classified as red, red-brown, or brown based on how much original color remains. Fully red 1946 wheat pennies are especially prized because maintaining original copper brilliance for nearly 80 years is uncommon. These coins often bring significant premiums over darker examples. The 1946 wheat penny is also known for certain varieties and minor errors that attract collector interest. Repunched mint marks are not applicable due to the lack of a mint mark, but die cracks, off-center strikes, clip planchets, and lamination errors do exist. These minting anomalies provide unique collecting opportunities and can substantially increase a coin's value depending on their visibility and condition. What truly elevates the 1946 no mint mark wheat penny is its symbolic importance. It represents peace after conflict, stability after uncertainty, and the return of everyday normal life. Unlike commemorative coins created to celebrate events, this penny earned its meaning through use. It was carried, spent, and saved by people rebuilding a nation, giving it a deeply human connection. For collectors today, the 1946 wheat penny serves multiple roles. It is often one of the first older coins found by beginners, sparking curiosity and interest in numismatics. At the same time, high-grade examples are sought after by advanced collectors, working to complete premium Lincoln cent sets. This dual appeal ensures the coin's lasting relevance in the hobby. When examining a 1946 wheat penny, collectors should look closely at surface originality, strike sharpness, and overall eye appeal. Cleaning or polishing can severely damage a coin's value, even if it appears shiny. Natural surfaces and honest wear are always preferred. Preservation, not perfection, defines true collectible quality. The enduring fascination with the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny proves that significance is not always tied to rarity. Instead, it comes from historical timing, design longevity, and the stories embedded in everyday objects. This penny reminds collectors that some of the most meaningful artifacts are those that were once ordinary. In the end, the 1946 no mint mark wheat penny stands as a small yet powerful symbol of America's post-war rebirth. It carries the weight of history in a single cent, connecting the struggles of the past with the optimism of a new era. Whether worn smooth or preserved in mint condition, this coin continues to speak to collectors who understand that true value lies in the story a coin tells. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is one of those coins that most people overlook without a second thought, yet it quietly carries a reputation that has lasted for decades. At first glance, it looks like just another old brown penny, worn smooth by time, often found in jars, drawers, or forgotten collections. But behind its ordinary appearance lies a story shaped by post-war America, changing economies, and collector psychology that turned this humble 1-cent coin into one of the most talked-about wheat pennies ever made. Struck at the Denver Mint in 1950, this coin came at a moment when the United States was transitioning from the hardships of World War II into a period of rebuilding and rapid growth. Factories were expanding, families were settling into new routines, and the American economy was preparing for a boom. Copper was still essential, coinage was in heavy use, and the Lincoln wheat penny continued its long run that had begun in 1909. The D mint mark beneath the date instantly sets this coin apart, signaling its Denver origin and connecting it to a surprisingly low production compared to many surrounding years. Only a little over 334 million 1950 D wheat pennies were minted, a number that sounds enormous until it is placed beside other wheat penny mintages that reached into the billions. At the time, this lower mintage sparked concern among collectors, many of whom believed the coin would become rare almost immediately. People across the country began pulling 1950 D pennies out of circulation and saving them by the roll, by the bag, and sometimes by the box. This hoarding behavior became legendary, and it permanently shaped how the coin is viewed today. Because so many examples were saved, the 1950 D wheat penny exists in large quantities in uncirculated condition even decades later. This unusual situation creates a fascinating contradiction. In worn condition, the coin is common and modestly valued, yet in higher grades it can still command strong prices because collectors demand pristine examples with sharp details, blazing luster, and minimal contact marks. This tension between perceived rarity and actual availability is part of what keeps the coin relevant in modern numismatics. The obverse of the coin features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had already become one of the most recognized images in American history. By 1950, the Lincoln portrait was deeply familiar to the public, yet on well-preserved 1950 D examples, the fine details of Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jawline still stand out with remarkable clarity. The word liberty to the left and the motto, "In God We Trust," above the portrait frame the design, while the date and mint mark anchor the coin firmly in its historical moment. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears symbolize America's agricultural foundation and prosperity. The words 1 cent and United States of America sit boldly between the wheat stalks, with E pluribus unum arching across the top. For collectors, the sharpness of the wheat lines and the strength of the lettering play a critical role in determining value. Weak strikes, flat details, or heavy where can reduce desirability, while crisp, fully struck reverses elevate a coin into a higher tier. What truly separates valuable 1950 D wheat pennies from ordinary ones is condition. Circulated examples are widely available and typically worth only a small premium over face value. However, coins graded in mint state by professional grading services can reach significantly higher values. Coins graded MS 65, MS 66, or higher show strong luster, clean surfaces, and exceptional eye appeal. In these grades, prices can climb into the hundreds of dollars, and the finest known examples have sold for much more at auction. Another factor that excites collectors is the possibility of errors and varieties. While the 1950 D wheat penny is not famous for major double dies like some earlier dates, minor mint errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and lamination errors, can add considerable value. These mistakes occurred during the minting process and escape quality control, turning otherwise ordinary pennies into unique collectibles. Error coins tell a story of imperfection, making each example a one-of-a-kind artifact. The color of the coin also plays a major role in its desirability. Wheat pennies are classified as red, red-brown, or brown, depending on how much original copper color remains. Fully red 1950 D pennies are especially prized because copper naturally darkens over time. A bright, fiery red surface indicates excellent preservation and minimal exposure to environmental damage. Collectors often pay a strong premium for red examples, especially in higher grades. Beyond numbers and grades, the 1950 D wheat penny represents the end of an era. Only 8 years later, in 1958, the wheat reverse would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. This makes late-date wheat pennies like the 1950 D some of the final chapters in a nearly 50-year series. For many collectors, owning these later wheat cents is about completing a historical journey rather than chasing extreme rarity. The popularity of the 1950 D wheat penny has also been fueled by stories passed down through generations. Many older collectors remember the excitement surrounding this coin when it first entered circulation. Newspapers, hobby magazines, and word of mouth all contributed to the belief that it would be the next great rarity. While reality turned out differently, those early expectations cemented the coin's legendary status and ensured it would never fade into obscurity. In today's market, the 1950 D wheat penny remains a favorite among beginner and advanced collectors alike. Beginners appreciate its affordability and historical significance, while advanced collectors seek out top population examples with flawless surfaces and vibrant color. The coin serves as a reminder that value in numismatics is not only about scarcity, but also about demand, condition, and the stories people attach to an object. Searching for a valuable 1950 D Wheat penny requires patience and careful observation. Look closely at the date and mint mark, check the sharpness of Lincoln's features, examine the wheat ears, and pay attention to the coin's color and surface quality. Avoid harshly cleaned coins, as cleaning can permanently damage surfaces and significantly reduce value. Original, untouched coins are always preferred. The enduring fascination with the 1950 D Wheat penny proves that even the smallest denomination can carry immense historical and emotional weight. It is a coin shaped by human behavior as much as by metal and machinery. Hoarded, saved, traded, and talked about for more than 70 years, it continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. In the end, the 1950 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just a coin. It is a symbol of post-war America, of optimism and speculation, of ordinary people believing that something small could become something extraordinary. Whether worth a few cents or hundreds of dollars, its true value lies in the story it tells, a story of history, hope, and the timeless thrill of discovery hidden in everyday pocket change. Next up, the 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny represents one of the final chapters of a long and beloved American coin series. Struck at the Denver Mint, this 1-cent coin entered circulation during a period of confidence and growth in the United States. Though it may appear ordinary at first glance, this penny carries the weight of history, reflecting a nation that had moved beyond war and into an era defined by industry, ambition, and expanding prosperity. Its significance lies not only in metal and design, but in the era it quietly served. By 1953, the Lincoln Wheat Penny had already been part of American life for more than 40 years. Introduced in 1909, the wheat cent design became one of the most recognizable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. The presence of the D. Mint mark beneath the date identifies this coin as a product of the Denver Mint, which played a crucial role in supplying coinage to the western and central regions of the country. Each 1953 D penny was struck to meet the needs of a rapidly growing economy where small change was essential for everyday commerce. The early 1950s were marked by economic expansion, rising consumer confidence, and technological progress. Families were buying homes, cars, and household appliances, and coins like the 1953 D. Wheat Penny passed through countless hands during routine transactions. These cents were used in corner stores, vending machines, bus fares, and school cafeterias. Their heavy circulation ensured that most examples would eventually show wear, making well-preserved coins especially appealing to collectors today. The obverse of the 1953 D. Wheat Penny features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's image had become a powerful symbol of unity and leadership, and by the 1950s, it was firmly embedded in American culture. On high-grade examples, Lincoln's hairlines, cheekbone, and jawline remained sharply defined, revealing the artistic quality of the original engraving. The words "In God We Trust" above the portrait and "Liberty" to the left reinforced the ideals the nation held dear during this period. The reverse design displays two wheat ears framing the denomination and country name, symbolizing agricultural abundance and national strength. This design, used from 1909 through 1958, would soon be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. As a result, the 1953 D. Wheat Penny belongs to the final era of the wheat cent, giving it a sense of historical closure. Collectors often view late-date wheat pennies as the bridge between classic and modern U.S. coinage. In terms of mintage, the 1953 D. Wheat Penny was produced in large numbers, making it readily available in circulated condition today. Most surviving examples show flattened details, especially on Lincoln's face and the wheat ears. These circulated coins typically carry modest value, appreciated primarily for their age and connection to mid-20th century America rather than for scarcity. Condition, however, transforms the story of the 1953 D. Wheat Penny. Uncirculated examples with strong mint luster, minimal contact marks, and full design detail are far more desirable. Coins graded in mint state by professional grading services often command significantly higher prices, especially those with exceptional eye appeal. Collectors closely evaluate strike quality, as weak strikes can diminish the value even of otherwise attractive coins. Color plays a critical role in determining desirability. Copper naturally tones over time, changing from bright red to red-brown and eventually brown. Fully red 1953 D Wheat pennies are particularly sought after because maintaining original copper brilliance for more than 70 years is uncommon. These coins often bring strong premiums, especially when combined with high mint state grades. While the 1953 D Wheat penny is not famous for major double-die varieties, it is known for minor mint errors that can add excitement and value. Off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and lamination errors occasionally appear. These errors occur during the minting process and escape detection, turning ordinary pennies into unique collectibles that appeal to specialized error coin enthusiasts. Beyond technical details, the 1953 D Wheat penny holds cultural significance. It represents an era when cash transactions dominated daily life, and coins were a constant presence in people's pockets. Each penny tells a story of use and movement, of being passed from one person to another during a time of national optimism. This human connection adds depth to the coin's appeal. For modern collectors, the 1953 D Wheat penny serves as both a teaching tool and a collectible goal. Beginners often encounter it while searching through old collections or rolls, learning how to assess condition and color. Advanced collectors seek top-graded examples to complete high-quality Lincoln cent sets. This broad appeal ensures the coin's continued popularity. Careful examination is essential when evaluating a 1953 D Wheat penny. Original surfaces, natural color, and clear details are key indicators of quality. Harsh cleaning or polishing can permanently damage a coin and drastically reduce its value, even if the coin appears shiny. Preservation and originality are always preferred over artificial brightness. The lasting fascination with the 1953 D Wheat penny proves that significance in numismatics is not defined solely by rarity. Instead, it is shaped by history, condition, and the stories collectors attach to a coin. This penny is a reminder that even common coins can carry extraordinary meaning when viewed through the lens of time. In the end, the 1953 D Lincoln Wheat penny is more than a 1-cent coin. It is a symbol of a confident nation moving forward, of a classic design nearing its conclusion, and of the enduring appeal of American coinage. Whether found worn from years of circulation or preserved in pristine condition, this penny continues to captivate collectors who understand that true value often lies beyond face value. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny, with no mint mark, represents a quiet yet meaningful chapter in American coin history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin entered circulation during a period of global tension and domestic stability, when everyday objects carried the weight of a changing world. At first glance, the coin appears ordinary, nearly identical to countless other wheat cents produced in the mid-20th century. Yet behind its familiar design lies a story shaped by economics, craftsmanship, and the psychology of collectors who understand that value is not always loud or obvious. By 1952, the Lincoln Wheat penny had already been in circulation for more than 4 decades. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the design had become deeply ingrained in American culture. The absence of a mint mark beneath the date indicates that this coin was produced in Philadelphia, the primary mint of the United States. During this era, Philadelphia struck enormous quantities of cents to meet the demands of a growing population and a cash-based economy, where small change was essential for daily transactions. The year 1952 sits firmly within the post-World War II period, a time when the United States was asserting its economic strength while navigating the early years of the Cold War. Factories were active, infrastructure was expanding, and consumer spending was rising. Pennies like the 1952 wheat cent changed hands countless times, passing through grocery stores, gas stations, payphones, and lunch counters. Each coin absorbed the marks of circulation becoming a silent witness to everyday American life. The obverse of the 1952 Wheat Penny features Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had stood the test of time. Lincoln's calm, dignified expression reflects ideals of unity and perseverance, qualities that resonated strongly during the uncertain geopolitical climate of the early 1950s. On well-preserved examples, fine details such as Lincoln's hair texture, coat lines, and facial contours remain sharp, offering collectors a glimpse of the original artistry that often disappears under decades of wear. On the reverse, the iconic wheat ears frame the denomination and country name, symbolizing abundance and agricultural strength. This imagery connected deeply with the American identity, especially in a nation that still remembered the hardships of the Great Depression and the sacrifices of wartime rationing. The wheat design also marked the final era of traditional cent imagery, as it would soon be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. As a result, coins like the 1952 Wheat Penny carry a sense of closure, representing the nearing end of a long-running series. From a mintage perspective, the 1952 no-mint mark Wheat Penny was produced in large numbers, with hundreds of millions struck. This high mintage means that circulated examples are common today and often found in old jars, rolls, and inherited collections. However, common does not mean unimportant. In numismatics, condition transforms common coins into desirable collectibles, and the 1952 Wheat Penny is a perfect example of how preservation defines value. Circulated 1952 wheat pennies typically show wear on Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and the wheat ears on the reverse. These coins usually carry modest value, appreciated more for their historical charm than for rarity. In contrast, uncirculated examples with full luster, clean surfaces, and sharp strikes can command significantly higher prices. Coins graded in mint state by professional grading services attract collectors who seek quality, originality, and strong visual appeal. Color plays a crucial role in determining the value of a 1952 wheat penny. Over time, copper naturally tones from bright red to brown. Coins are categorized as red, red-brown, or brown, depending on how much original color remains. Fully red examples from 1952 are especially desirable, as maintaining that vibrant copper color for more than 70 years is rare. Such coins reflect careful storage and minimal environmental exposure, making them stand out in collections. Although the 1952 wheat penny is not known for major double-die varieties, minor mint errors do exist and can dramatically increase a coin's value. Off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and lamination errors are all possible. These errors occurred during the minting process and were released into circulation, creating unique pieces that differ from standard issues. Error coins appeal to collectors because they represent moments when the minting process deviated from perfection. The historical importance of the 1952 wheat penny also lies in its role as everyday money. Unlike rare pattern coins or limited commemoratives, this cent was meant to be spent. Its value today comes not from exclusivity, but from survival. Each example that remains in high grade has defied decades of circulation, corrosion, and loss. This survival story adds depth to the coin's appeal and reinforces why collectors continue to seek the best examples. For modern collectors, the 1952 no-mint mark wheat penny serves as both a starting point and a finishing piece. Beginners often encounter it early in their collecting journey, learning to evaluate condition, color, and strike quality. Advanced collectors pursue top-graded examples to complete high-end Lincoln cent sets. The coin bridges generations, connecting casual hobbyists with serious numismatists. Careful examination is essential when searching for a valuable 1952 wheat penny. Collectors should look for strong details, original surfaces, and natural color. Harsh cleaning, polishing, or chemical treatments can permanently damage a coin and reduce its value. Original, untouched coins with honest wear or pristine preservation are always preferred in the market. The lasting popularity of the 1952 wheat penny proves that a coin does not need extreme rarity to be meaningful. Its appeal lies in its balance of history, artistry, and accessibility. It tells the story of a nation in transition, of ordinary people using simple coins during extraordinary times, and of collectors who later recognized the importance of preserving these small pieces of the past. Ultimately, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny, with no mint mark, is more than just a copper cent. It is a tangible link to mid-20th century America, a reminder that even the most common objects can carry powerful stories. Whether found worn and dark or bright and untouched, this coin continues to inspire curiosity, appreciation, and respect among collectors who understand that history often hides in plain sight.